Nintendo Switch Online has been highly debated from the beginning of time itself. You either hate it or don't care. Nintendo's recent Switch Online playtest is not only one of the most interesting things to come out from them recently, but the fact that it's leaked is an example of how out of touch Nintendo actually is. Playtests are focused sessions where a game is tested by players before its official release. The primary goal is to gather feedback on gameplay mechanics, balance, and overall user experience. This feedback helps developers identify issues, make improvements, and ensure the game is enjoyable and polished at launch. However, Nintendo forgot the most important rule when it comes to these tests, and that's secrecy. You made an announcement recruiting 10,000 people with an expansion pass membership into this test for 2 weeks, and for some reason, you didn't expect a single person in this test to leak something to the public. I think Nintendo should have hired me for this one, honestly. It wouldn't have led to people having unrealistic expectations in their head. But what is this playtest actually for? This game is limited to select countries, and participants had to be 18 plus, for some reason. And Nintendo's current online system uses NPLN and GameSync along with Eagle when necessary. NPLN is Nintendo's online system that handles everything online. GameSync is the servers used for online play, except it's only used to exchange IPs between systems to enable peer-to-peer along with exchanging metadata in medium-sized lobbies. Eagle is a relay server used to boost this connection in larger lobbies, i.e. Tetris 99, F-Zero 99, etc., without the requirement of IP exchange, basically what you'd expect of a server. As for the playtest and what's changed, the playtest was basically a stress test for Nintendo's new servers with higher player counts. No peer-to-peer, all connected to servers. With these new servers, Eagle was rewritten and integrated directly with NPLN, meaning that the servers are built in directly to Nintendo's online system. By all means, it seems that dedicated servers are going to be a thing going forward with the Switch 2, but will this be integrated into future games like Splatoon 4? We're not sure. This new server is made specifically for large-scale player connections, unlike something that you'd see in Mario Kart or Splatoon. This could be them making large-scale connections more feasible for future games, but that doesn't mean that it will be applied across the board. Best case is that these dedicated servers become the standard across all games, and the worst case is this is just them beefing up large-scale connections, and in games where it's not necessary, they'll stick to the current peer-to-peer connection that we have. Some people say this game looks like PlayStation Home, or something described as a Metaverse game, but looking through these documents, I have to think it's more similar to games like Death Stranding or Minecraft. You have to select a Mii to start off the game, which is weird because in the demo you actually control these brand new characters, who kind of look like Doshin the Giant mixed with the Flintstones. I also just thought of another one, which was Domo from those old advertisements. I think that's pretty cool. You also select the title for your profile, which leads to some pretty hilarious references, my favorite of which being "My body is ready."
My body is ready.
In this game, the goal is to work with others to fully develop a massive expansive planet by utilizing creativity and farmed resources. The dev core is a separate space from the planet you'll be developing. Think of it as a social hub to gather with other players. At the dev core, you can level up your character, get items you'll need for your journey, commune with others, and more. Throughout your adventure, players will be granted special tools known as beacons. These beacons emit a healing light that purifies and develops the land. The higher your beacon is placed, the wider its zone becomes. Within your beacon zone, your best work can be done. Players will repeat the process until their current planetary block is considered fully developed. They also go more over these beacons specifically here. The beacons players receive will be their most valuable tool. You are the master of your beacon zone. Only you can move, lift, or edit items within your beacon's light. Just as others cannot edit things within your beacon zone, you cannot edit things in someone else's beacon zone. Places outside of beacon zones are public areas that anyone can work in. In public areas, anyone can pick up things, place them, and edit them. To protect your builds and precious items, you'll want to store them inside your beacon zone for safekeeping. Anytime players make progress in developing the planet with a beacon's light, they'll earn dev points. Players can use dev points in the dev core to raise their development level. By increasing your development level with these points, you can obtain convenient items for further development activities. Players earn Connects points by interacting with other players in a variety of ways. Players can use Connect points in the dev core to raise their connection level. By increasing your connection level, players will have access to fun community-related items. These items being talked about on the next page. UGC features. Our UGC, user-generated content, will allow players to create content that they can use themselves as well as share with other players. You can make all sorts of UGC in-game. You can receive feedback by sharing the UGC you create with other players. To create UGC, you must obtain a UGC license by taking a test in the game to show that you understand the importance of respectful communication. Gee, they really don't want you making those Smash Ultimate stages again, huh? Also, there's a reporting feature. Development Positioning System, DPS. Every player is equipped with a special skill known as a DPS. This allows players to see a wide variety of details, including the development status of the planet and the positions of other players. Nintendo, stop making this sound like a feature. This is just a map. But apparently you can see and spectate players through the map, which is a neat touch in my opinion. So what happens if I lose my beacon? If for some reason you've misplaced your beacon, you can use the map to warp to it. If, for some reason, you are unable to locate your beacon, please visit the dev mine in the dev core. If I had to guess, it would probably reset your beacon on a random area, just in case your beacon decided to glitch out. Also details here about an energy system, which I'm hoping isn't majorly tied into the DNA of this game. Many of Nintendo's other games have had systems like this, which limit the amount of time you're able to play the game without spending money on microtransactions. I'm hoping by the wording of this section saying unable to do certain things means that a good portion of the game is done at your own pace, rather than being time-gated, an issue that many have had with Animal Crossing New Horizons. Nintendo ought to learn a lesson from this ordeal. While the Game Freak Terra leak wasn't their fault, this definitely was. If the intention of this was to get people excited, they should have just dropped teasers. I think going forward, they'll just have less people participate and have them sign NDAs, which, while upsetting, is just how the internet works. I hope this game isn't locked to the expansion pass though. I mean, if people weren't going to upgrade because of the Nintendo 64, I don't think a single game is going to change their mind. And if the player count is cut at the knees, this giant metaverse concept won't work as well. And that's why games like Fortnite are free to play and make money off cosmetics. Another game with a similar concept was Minecraft Earth, released in 2019, which promptly got shut down 2 years later in 2021. I hope Nintendo knows what they're doing with this game and it doesn't suffer the same fate. I think a game like this could genuinely work given the right resources and player numbers. And while it might not have some communication features like Miiverse or Swap Note, I think that's fair considering what happened with those in the past. But what are your thoughts on the playtest leak? Are you excited that games like Minecraft and Roblox might have a daring competitor on the market, or do you think that Furukawa was smoking the Zaza again? Make sure to subscribe, and if you're interested in this one, feel free to watch my video on the Game Freak Terra leak. It's pretty insane.